Okay, Caleb, we're back here now, and sorry I cut that off a little bit short, but I want to show you a little bit with this guy right here, and you're right, he'll do a better job of showing it than me telling it. So this is Edwin Encarnacion. He's hit 40-plus home runs in a couple different MLB seasons. And you're looking at this and you're thinking, why would you compare me with him? Because our swings and our stances don't look anything alike. Okay, but he does some things with his swing in terms of walking away from his hands and staying through the baseball and getting connected that I want you to be able to see. Okay, and then you can implement some things within your swing. So the first thing is, if we look at that back foot, it's kind of tough to tell because we got that grass. But he's pretty close to being in a straight line. It's hard to tell because we're at an angle, but I think you can see it. You're pretty good too. Okay, so that's not, like I said, that's not something that's too big of a deal. You could turn that in just a little bit. One thing I would say now that I look at this, make sure that this part right here, okay, we aren't on our heels. So when I kind of look at this, it kind of looks like there's some space in between your toes and the ground. Just make sure that we aren't back on our heels. Okay, so that would be the suggestion. It's hard to tell with the video and with the angle, but make sure we aren't doing that. Okay, so now let's look at walking away from our hands. Let's look at what this looks like. Okay, so remember, we're going to draw that circle around there. There to here when our heel gets down. Okay, so they come with us a little bit. Let's watch Mr. Encarnacion. Okay, so what he does then is he starts his hands here in this spot. And let's watch where they end up whenever he gets his foot down. Okay. So just a little bit. And a reason being is he walks so far. He takes such a big stride. And as he comes through, his hands are staying back just a little bit longer, okay? And they're going to drift forward just a tad bit, but that's partly because he is going so far and separating. But I think what I want you to see here with him is the tension right in this section right here, okay? So look at his jersey. If you're looking at his jersey, look at how tightly wound it is from here to here, okay? So that tells you that there is so much torque being created. And I think that you have the possibility to get there. You really do. Okay, so now the second part of this is the connection and where the elbows are at. So we're looking at this from the side. Can you see his back elbow? No. Okay, and we look back here. Can we see your back elbow? Yeah, it's tucked under and tucked closer to our body. Okay, so that's one thing that we can change. And here's how it affects what we're doing. So as he gets there, boom, look at it. Look at it. You see how everything's connected? Hands, elbow, all connected to the back hip. Okay, so that creates a more powerful swing. Let's go back and look at yours again. Okay, so we're getting to this point. Our shoulders getting out of there, and we're leading with our elbows. Okay, and when we lead with our elbows, like I said earlier, it creates a little bit slower of a swing. So that's about in the same spot that he's in right there. Okay? See it? See it? Very good. Next part of this then is the very last thing that I was talking about in that video. Okay, let's mark an area or circle with his head. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. His head pretty much stays in it, if not goes back just a little bit, which is a little different. Okay, but we'd rather have that than nothing. Okay, so now let's look at yours. Okay, our heel is down. Let me make a better circle. Our heel is down with our head inside of that circle. Okay, so what do we see? Well, what we see is we start drifting out over our front side with our head. Okay, and what that does is it gets us over our front side. When we get over our front side, we get off balance. When we get off balance, we lose some athleticism that we have in our swing. Okay, so when we lose that athleticism, we're basically hindering ourselves of what we can do at the plate in terms of making up for some timing mistakes and staying in the zone. And I talked about the bat path. So if we're looking at his bat path, he's strong there at the zone. Boom, another one strong there at the zone. In the zone, sorry. Let's go back and look at yours. Point of contact in the zone, and then I want you to watch where this top hand and where your barrel goes. Okay, so this one is a little better than the one we were watching earlier, but it goes from here to there, and it goes down. Okay, so here's kind of the problem with that. So if we have a ball, let's look. Let's look at the path at which this ball comes in on. I guess if I do this, boom. Yeah, there we go. Ball comes in on that path. So now let's look at where our bat goes on that path out of there. Okay, so can we see how everything stays underneath that line and it stays low? So what that does is we end up cutting that ball. So cutting it meaning we're chopping through this ball as we come down through, and if we get behind this ball, so if it's coming down and we're going down, then we're going against it. We need to get on plane and get on the same plane behind the ball and then come through it. That's when you get those loud sounds. That's when you get the ball that's absolutely driven. Okay, Edwin Encarnacion does a great job. Most big leaguers do. Okay, Caleb, if you have any questions, if your dad has any questions, go ahead and let me know. Email me, whatever you need. I'll be here for you. Hopefully you got a lot out of this. Thanks, guys.